Yeah, I'm okay. Great show as normal. Now,
Thanks.
what I'd like to go back to is, since Chelsea won the Champions League, we've got rid of 5 forwards. We got rid of Giroud, Werner, Abraham, Lukaku. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. We replace them with 2 old timers who aren't good enough in Sterling and in Aubameyang. And I was saying to friends of mine, I'm a season ticket holder, I go home and away, that we are not going to score a goal. We were faffing around, we get defenders, we can't score a goal. And it was obvious this was going to happen. I went against Everton, I went against Villa first, and both those games we had 20-odd shots on target. So it doesn't really matter which manager comes in to replace Tuchel. It doesn't make a difference, because we have to get to the end of the season and then buy some strikers. We had all the play against Villa, all the play against Everton every week. So, okay, you can't blame Potter. You can't blame him. The new owners, are they being advised correctly? But strikers win games. I mean, Everton had 2 shots on target. Villa had 2 shots on target against us and won the game. We had 20-odd. It's ludicrous.
But didn't you get rid of Lukaku, Giroud, Werner, Tammy, because they weren't scoring enough goals as well?
Well, they got us into the top 4 and got us 2 domestic cup finals last season. We won the World Club Championship, we won the Super Cup, and we won the Champions League with those players. They might not been good enough, but to leave us with nothing.
But Havertz was the one that scored in the Champions League final, no?
Who did? Yeah, of course you did. And Havertz has scored. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's still doing what he's been doing since he came to the club. But
so what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, Werner. If you look at Werner, for all his inefficiencies in front of goal, he stretched the game. He put defenders under pressure. He opened it up.
So you think you'd rather have Werner up front?
The nothing. I'd sooner have Werner than Sterling, 100%. And I'd sooner have Werner than Aubameyang, 100%. And every other Chelsea fan seems the same. Yes, he missed chances, but he created chances. For the minutes of, I don't know whether this stat is right, but in the 2 years that Timo Werner was at Chelsea Football Club, yes, he missed chance after chance, but he was involved with more goals, scoring and involvement in the goals per minute on the pitch than any other player at the club. He might have only scored a few goals, but his creation of the havoc that he created, it was 100%. Now, okay, we all were horrified when Romans left the club. It's terrible for Chelsea Football Club. And it was always going to be a transitional period. But what's happened is we've had Bowley, who's got no football knowledge. He's listened to people. We bought players after players for 5 years' time, young kids, but we needed an out-and-out striker. If you put Ivan Toney into Chelsea's side, he's not perfect in Champions League, but he's proven goal scorer, we would easily be top 4. Okay, with 12 points, the amount of games we've just run the game completely and we can't score. I mean, going on to managers, fine, it doesn't matter who we get. We won't be able to score until we get a striker. I personally, I mean, this Nagelsmann, I don't know too much about him, but he's very young. I would sooner, and I think the most sensible thing that Chelsea Football Club can do is just get through to the end of the season. We're not going to get into Europe. We're not going to go down. We're not going to win the Champions League. Yeah, we're huff and puff and all the rest of it, but we are where we are. The better thing, in my opinion, is to wait till the end of the season and see.
All right, Clint, thanks for your call. Basically, Clint's saying, well, look, we need more goals. John is a Chelsea fan. Hi, John.
Morning, guys. Great show as always.
Thanks,
John. Ali, congratulations on Pundit of the Year. You're my favourite. Love you. Fun.
Thanks, mate. Very kind of you.
No problem. I'm not talking about the team. I'm not talking about the infrastructure. I'm talking about the manager of this team. And I want to go back to 2004 when Mourinho come in. The core of that side, Cech was 24, Lampard was 24, Terry was 24. They was all around the early to mid-20s. I think if you brought Mourinho back for one more dance at Chelsea, I think he'd get a tune out of this side because they're all that age. They're all mouldable. They're all that mouldable age where they can sort of like take on information, take a ball. Look how he bought on Lampard. Look how he bought on Terry. Like, I just think Mourinho with this squad and this side at this age would do the trick. I think he's got his fire back as well from Roma. I've watched a few Roma games and he seems to be the old Mourinho on the touchline as well.
John, I'm going to say something to you, mate. Right, they're all raising their eyebrows in here. There's something about that I don't mind, you know, mate. I'll tell you right now, there's something about that I don't mind. I mean, where I disagreed a little bit with Clint, the previous caller, he's spot on with the centre-forward situation, missing too many chances. But I didn't think Chelsea looked great at the back at the weekend, to be honest. I know they scored 2 goals, but I mean, Watkins could probably have scored before he scored his first goal. But and in my opinion, Reece James getting 1 or 2 played out of position. But you know something? See what you're saying there? I as a Chelsea supporter, I wouldn't have a problem with that, you know. I don't think I would have a problem. A lot of people would argue, say it's a step back, right? But sometimes you got to take a step back to go another 2 forward.
Exactly, and the thing is as well, Ali, you look at. I mean, I've got to mention players like Joe Cole, Robin. They was all 21, 22, and he literally turned that team into a team of world beaters.
Can I just say one thing, John? Listen, I love Jose Mourinho, and I would love to see him back in the Premier League because I just think like he's box office, anything he does. But do you not think that what happened at Spurs is kind of more indicative of the way that he's managing at the moment, and also perhaps maybe it didn't work out so well there, or do you feel like you've got better players?
But everybody happens to everybody.
Not really. You look at Conte. Conte come to Chelsea. Won the league, and he's gone to Tottenham and done nothing. Mourinho's gone there and done nothing. Pochettino went there and done nothing. All right, Pochettino wasn't as accredited as Mourinho and Conte, but
and he did the
Tottenham
best.
seems to be that exactly, and that seems to be the poison taste. And Mourinho's got Chelsea in his heart. Mourinho cares about the club. He's got a house 200 yards away from the ground. He cares about the club. Chelsea means something to Mourinho, and I just see one last dance with this squad. As well, because Potter didn't know his best formation. He didn't know it. Mourinho would go, right, you're my number 1, you're my number 2, that's it. If you want to be number 1, you fight for number 1. That's the way it should be. And I just think Mourinho would get this team turning.
Interesting, John.
Certainly
thank you very much.
Interesting, wouldn't it? Good call, John.
Yeah, brilliant call. I loved it. It's great. Imagine, for a third time, one more dance. Wow.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.